7 p.m. in a room with greenish concrete walls and a harsh neon light and no windows. The room overlooks the house's living room, which opens by a sliding grille onto a busy street of Ho Chi Minh City. The air is suffocating and sticky. I'm alone, lying under a mosquito net, watching the ceiling. I'm 23 years old, and I'm overwhelmed with joy, absolute joy. It's my first evening in Vietnam. Until then, my life has been on track. I grew up in France, had loving parents, a good education, a first job. Things have happened to me in a foreseeable way. But who am I really? What am I capable of? What am I made of? So here I am, 6,000 miles away from home, looking for myself and for a job in a country that is still recovering from war after 18 years. Ngo Hai Tiek, a communist patriarch, his wife and their 11 children and grandchildren have agreed to host me in the house for a while. There is no friend around and no email or cell phone then. I don't have a job. I don't know the country. I don't speak the language. This is thrilling. Overall, this first decade of my professional life is marked by freedom, challenges, discoveries, and growth. I start to understand that we make assumptions all the time, and we can overcome them. This frail grandfather is actually a giant of Vietnamese literature. That lady who's fasting, I believe she tries to lose weight when she's actually following a Buddhist rite. Humility is a critical skill. And I receive an incredible gift from my colleagues and friends, Quỳnh, Hằng, and Hoàng Anh, their trust, their heart. They are so different from me. And yet, when we cry together at a funeral, when we talk about love, or when we burst out laughing over another beer, all our differences give way to the essence of human connection. Life is all about relationships and how we connect with others at a deep level. Fast forward a few years. This is the second decade. I joined a large pharmaceutical company in France. The beginning is awesome. And then other aspects of corporate life occur to me, and I realize they are commonplace across organizations. So yes, there's PowerPoint, cubicles, bad managers, and parent-child relationship. It's like in a family, except it's at work. And your manager is often way more controlling than your parent. You gotta ask for permission. You gotta be nice, especially in the performance evaluation season. And to my surprise, many adults are okay with this. Male dominance, glass ceiling at senior level. Gosh, I thought the previous generations had fought enough for women's rights and the job was done. How wrong? I realize women have to work twice as hard and display way more talent just to stay in the race, with almost zero chance of reaching the highest ranks. Division and distrust. Each function believes they're contributing more than the others. Competition for power and attention is very real, and ranks and grades are stark silos too. Those who decide and those who implement hardly get together and generally don't understand each other. Nothing specific to this organization I'm in. It's actually much better than many other places. But I realize, I experience firsthand the destructive nature of work. I see people of talent being crushed, moving from enthusiasm and hope to despair and cynicism, depression sometimes, divorce, burnout. Others are just sleeping with their eyes open. And for several years, I go with the flow, hoping that things will change when a better manager crosses my path. But increasingly, I realize that this frustration is not just a personal experience or even a shared experience. It is the natural consequence of a systemic flaw. It is the way most big organizations work today. And those in the driver's seat don't see they burn people out. They have great analytical skills. They focus on productivity and efficiency. Diversity is an impediment that slows the system down. It doesn't matter that there's no Asian in the executive team in charge of Asia, or no woman in the top leadership. Well, maybe this is where we can evolve the system. If decision-making levels reflected the diversity of the organization and its ecosystem, we could make things better for employees and for the business. One day, I hear the new CEO is seeking input on the company's strategy. There, my opportunity. I send him a letter and copy a few friends. He doesn't answer yet. But this is the beginning of a movement in our workplace. From this letter, in just a few months, 2,500 women and men connect live and on a social network to push the diversity agenda. It's like magic. Sandrine, an admin, and Bernadette, a vice president, now work together as fellow activists. Our common purpose is stronger than all kinds of internal barriers, and we bring free speech and co-creation to this organization, and it's huge. And it's not chaos or rebellion. We're helping this company get better. We're addressing its blind spot, and we trigger more progress in a few months than what the organization did over several years. We receive awards from all over the place. Yet, when you look closely, you realize the progress made is not that big. After a while, the organization goes back to its usual routine. Priorities disappear behind newer priorities, corporate speak, inertia. Actions are handed over to functional departments which couldn't care less. After a few years, there is no more diversity in the executive team than when the movement started. Change 1, status quo 2. But seeds have been planted. We have not failed, we have learned. We have more power than we think when we free ourselves from our own barriers. When things don't work, we have to question authority. Growing up, I got from my parents, both art teachers, how grateful we can be for artists to continuously challenge aesthetics, social, political norms. Artists do change the world by offering different perspectives. And in organizations too, we can grow corporate artistry. Another way of working is possible. We can leverage common purpose, co-creation, social media to make things better. But I need to show its business value for the company to change. So I set up a business case and lobby relentlessly until my management is convinced to create a new role. I will support a business priority, the launch of a new vaccine. For the first time in history, we're about to protect people against a deadly disease called dengue through vaccination. 40% of the world population is at risk of catching dengue. So we have here an opportunity to think different. We focus on the cause, fighting the disease, the why, rather than just on our product, the what. We join forces with partners, with very different partners who share the same purpose. From listening to activists, we create the conditions for a global conversation. We move from push to pull, as John Hagel explains it so well. And certainly, more solutions against the disease will emerge from these new connections and support our company goals and society as a whole together. Of course, the whole concept comes under heavy fire from corporate gatekeepers. Using public social media is risky. Free, uncensored speech is risky. Bypassing usual intermediaries is risky. Yes, but the biggest risk is to keep doing the things we know and stick to the 20th century tools and mindset. They are not adapted to our global, complex, interconnected world. They are obsolete. As an organization, for a cause that means a lot to us and for our business interests, we need to take a step aside. We need to change our interactions with the world, bring it in, co-create. And it works. The community catches on like wildfire. 10,000 people in the first week, 250,000 in 9 months. Recognition from key stakeholders that an important new voice has emerged, the voice of the people on the field. My fellow activists and I feel proud. It's a real breakthrough for the cause, and we receive awards from all over the place. Yet, when you look closely, you realize the progress made is not that big. After a while, the organization goes back to, okay. Functional silos are so strong that the deep, continuous collaboration required by this holistic approach fails. Each silo slowly leans back to its usual intermediaries and experts and filters, to a push rather than pull, to information rather than co-creation. Has status quo won again? Maybe not. More seeds have been planted. Another way of creating value is possible. But to make it mainstream, we need to change the corporate agenda and impact the organization at its core. At this point, our new Chief Quality Officer suggests we team up to improve the quality of our manufacturing operations. Because of quality issues, we are unable to provide all the vaccines our customers need. And vaccines save lives, so we can't let this go. And it's tempting to blame equipment, processes, or people. But how well can you really operate in a culture that is top-down, adverse to change, siloed, and bottlenecked, where frontline staff experience is less valued than experts' views, where trust is considered less safe than control? So here we go again on the path of change. My mission is to transform quality from an imposed constraint on people to a shared passion. And how do we do that? We start by co-creating our purpose. Not another corporate mission statement, no. What is it we want to fight for now together? Change the way we work to make our vaccines available to all who want them. And from there, a movement grows. Louis, a shop floor worker, Jen, a training director, Lynn, a manufacturing manager, volunteers of all ranks and sites go to their colleagues. They become activists of change and engage their peers. Complacency makes way to agency, collaboration, and care for each other. Our North Star is our shared purpose. And this, and the trust we put in people, gets the best out of them. Individuals and teams get together up to the shop floor unprompted and make change happen. Leaders support volunteers instead of setting directions. And for the first time, people feel empowered and proud. And it hasn't happened for 10 years already, but quality indicators are now turning positive. This means more vaccines for more people. Status quo, au revoir. Vietnamese has 2 words to say no. Không means no, never, and chưa means no, not yet. If your organization seems to say no to change, don't take it for a no, never. It's probably a not yet. Keep trying. Our organizations are living systems, not machines. They are ecosystems of relationships. Life, work, it's all connected and sometimes very messy. And in the age of disruption, these complex systems are no longer served by rational processes or hierarchical structures alone. So what do we need? Inclusion, meaning, generosity, action, humanity. People at all levels are longing for purpose and dignity. Let's redefine what expertise is. Let's tap into a broader knowledge of and energy, into the will to be involved and contribute. Let's make work more human, to create shared value and a healthier society. The new world of connection, of collective intelligence, of networks is right there at our fingertips, and it's up to us to build it together. No one else will do it but us. Thank you.